I'm Cookie, and welcome back to another episode of the Untold Origins, this series where I talk about the backstories of one or multiple minor characters from my series Legends. Last episode, I started talking about the seven princesses, in which, in case you missed it, are a group of princesses who are not royalty, but were chosen through an application. In this episode, I'll talk about Gadget and her younger sibling, Gizmo. Born in the capital city of Python, Gadget and Gizmo developed a strained relationship with their parents. They both had relatively normal childhoods. Gadget was only a year and a half older than Gizmo, so they developed a very close bond with each other. Early on, Gadget proved to be quite intelligent for her age, understanding much higher level concepts than her peers. Her parents enjoyed showing her off to friends and business partners, and would somehow turn every conversation to be about her. While all the other children would be outside being social, Gadget would be locked inside learning and developing new ideas. As for Gizmo, well, pretty much everyone except for Gadget forgot about them. No matter how hard they tried, their work would always be brushed off. Gadget tried to talk to Gizmo, but this quickly turned into arguments about who had it worse. I just want to have freedom to choose what I want to do. I'm tired of mom and dad making decisions for me. At least they notice you. I have to fight for their attention. One day, Gizmo found Gadget crying alone in her room. 2 days prior, Gadget was shadowing a major engineering company with her parents when a large piece of equipment that was being transported got loose and fell. It would have crushed an employee had Gadget not pushed him out of the way. However, she barely couldn't get herself to safety and her tail was crushed. She was in shock for a while and was taken to the hospital to recover. Her tail was completely destroyed and had to be amputated. But her parents were not concerned about her at all, and were in fact angry for supposedly embarrassing herself and ruining her chance of getting into that company. This pushed her to try to stand up to her parents for the first time, but was quickly shot down. From then on, Gizmo stopped trying to seek attention from their parents and tried to be there for Gadget. Even if they were jealous, they didn't want to lose their sister. Every night, the two of them would sneak off away from the city. A jungle was nearby, where they would explore and practice their magic. It was their escape, and where they mended their relationship. But life at home continued to be harsh. One day, their parents decided that Gadget would study at an esteemed academy to one day work in the president's office. Gadget, as much as she loved learning and inventing, she wanted to choose what she did, but felt powerless to go against her parents. So, behind everyone's back, Gizmo started finding a way out, and they found an application to be a princess of Wolverina, which was all the way across the world. The two of them quietly filled out the application and were accepted. That night, they packed a few things and left. Python had many teleportation paths, so all Gadget needed to do was rig a one-way transportation to Wolverina. Once arriving at the palace, they met the other applicants. Gizmo quickly started a friendship with Katrina and Flutter, while Gadget chatted with Symphony. Out of all the applicants, Gadget would be the one to become the closest with Princess Catherine. When it was time for the oath, Gadget was the one who questioned it the most, but kept quiet after. For the next few months, Gadget and Gizmo trained to be proper royals and learned better fighting techniques. Gadget had quite a learning curve, as she was not used to having this much freedom, and was hesitant on what she could exactly do. But Queen Gloria would always assure her that she wasn't doing anything wrong. Gizmo did not take training so seriously, and mostly enjoyed goofing off with Katrina and Flutter, though most people got annoyed at them. Queen Gloria slowly became the parental figure that Gizmo had been missing. Life was well, until the parents showed up unexpectedly, demanding for Gadget to return home, not even acknowledging Gizmo. Before she could say anything, Catherine defended her, and soon the rest of the princesses followed. But her parents refused to leave. Just as Queen Gloria was going to force them to leave, Gadget challenged her parents to a fight. If she won, she stayed. If she lost, then she would go with them. Her father agreed to fight her, and the two of them were locked in battle. However, Gadget did not expect her father to be a challenging opponent, and seemed like she would lose. That was until Gizmo stepped in. What are you doing? This is my fight. Cuz, we're siblings, and we look out for each other. Their father didn't protest the 2v1, and for the first time in years, their parents saw what Gizmo was capable of. In the end, the siblings won, and true to Gadget's word, allowed them both to stay, and Sue left without another word. For the next few years, Gadget and Gizmo stayed loyal to the royal family, but cracks eventually started to form. Gadget had wanted freedom, but once again started to feel trapped, not by her parents, but by her own sense of duty. Meanwhile, Gizmo never fully enjoyed the royal lifestyle, and was ready for a change. So when the princesses disbanded, they decided to return home. While still a princess, Gadget had invented many things and was quite well known, meaning it did not take long for the citizens to realize that she returned to Python. The president of the capital city approached the siblings with an offer. I will give you both a place and access to the best equipment that you need. All I ask in return is some advice and representation when needed. The siblings decided to agree to this arrangement and moved into a large property on the outskirts of the city. There, Gadget continued to create things on her own terms. Meanwhile, sometimes Gizmo will help Gadget, but they also spend their time in the city, stopping criminals just like they did in Wolverina. Because of their deal, they would be invited to conferences and special banquets, as well as give occasional advice to the president. After everything, they were happy to settle down, but do miss being with everyone. If Wolverine ever needed them, they promised to be there in a heartbeat. And that's their backstory. Like the last episode, I want to end this with a few fun facts about Gadget and Gizmo. Like Symphony and Katrina, they used to be the main protagonists of Legends. Also like them, they followed the same pattern of taking a character from a different media and putting them into my series with a non-canon family member. Gadget used to be Techno, who is also from Winx Club. I think you can tell by this point that Legends takes inspiration from that show. Because the show barely touches on Techna's family life, and also because my lack of knowledge of the first two seasons, since I watched the next specials, I was able to change a lot about Gadget's backstory, since she didn't really have one before. As for Gizmo, they used to be named Technique, but got renamed because 1. Technique is a stupid name, and 2. I wanted the first letter of the name to be the same as Gadget. Also, Gizmo before being renamed and designed was female, but after designing them, I made them genderqueer instead, and using all pronouns. It just fit their vibe better. So that's all I have for this video. Make sure to comment below what you thought of the backstory. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye!